Hello and welcome. And here we are back for Coming Into Being. And I'm just getting uh, this set up on Instagram here as we get going. And I always have to wait a little bit for it to kick in over on the other side here. There we go. We're good to go. All right. And I can see both sides now. Welcome. So here we go. Yay. All right, we are all set to go now. So, coming into being, here we are for the usual round. Usual in the sense that it's like every Wednesday we do this. I provide this space for people to just take that time to connect with themselves. It's that simple. And in that simplicity, we come across a lot of things that, Sydney, hello. We come across a lot of stuff that can get in the way of us really coming into being our true essence, our true nature, and really connecting in. You know, honestly, I will share with you this year. I've been doing this work for, I think, around 25 years or so now, give or take. And this year has been really interesting because I feel like everything that I've gone through. Hey, Tanya, sorry. I feel like everything that I've gone through in my life has been like a distortion, and I've needed to clear out those distortions. And part of that reason for that is that everything is shifting into higher state. So what it was like 25 years ago, it's a totally different ballgame now. It's really interesting. So that coming into being becomes more and more and more important to connect and to just be with ourselves, to be present with ourselves. So get yourself a cup of water if you would like I have here, and we'll get started. So whoever shows up, it's good to go. And let's see where today takes us. So let's just take a moment to just take a deep breath in, hold it a little bit, and then just exhale it like you're letting out a big sigh after long hard work, sometimes you've been working out in the yard or whatever, doing stuff, and you come in and you just go, and let all of that steam out and settle into where you are. Very quiet space right now. It was very interesting for me. I just kind of connect in more deeply. Karen and Elisa send their regards. Couldn't make it today. Okay, good. Well, nice for them to join them. I hope that's helping them. Yeah, there is just this immense flooding of energy coming through me, and part of that comes from, as you get clearer within yourself, then the energy comes through more strongly. I do find that my system has to adjust. It's interesting. Adjust at the energetic level, and kind of reorganize itself. It is. They plan to watch the replay. Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah, and actually I can feel them. They're already present. So this is an interesting point, because when people, it's like their spirit is here, but the physical being might not be able to be present. But at that etheric level, at the deeper level, they are here. They are present. So that's fun. That's fun to see that. So let's take a nice deep breath in, settle into what you're sitting on as you exhale. And let's just drop down into the core of the earth. That's good. I'm going to do the whole group here. Whole group in the space here, just to connect in. It's a just very soft session, space here today. So see if you can notice that for yourself, you know. It's good to get that sense and to become more aware of these things for yourself. And hi from I don't know who. And just checking Instagram. Okay, we're good on Instagram. Grounding, coming into that connection with the new earth. And just see if you can, what I feel, what I can feel and sense is there's just this embrace that's happening in the space here. So it might feel relaxing, it might feel restful, it might feel cozy, nurturing. You know, that's not just the earth today. It feels like the presence of Mary. There's Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary. They do kind of have a very deep similar. Kuan Yin also known, that feminine Kuan Yin. So letting yourself settle into that. Gonna create a bit of a boundary. And either you're in the space or you're not. Okay, I'm not gonna make that decision. It's up to the individual to make that decision, but it's that in the space is that you are here for the work, to do the work for yourself, to support yourself. So I support you. Yeah. So I provide the space, and if you're not in that state of being and of mind for this, then you're actually outside of the space. I said, I'm not the one who's choosing that. I'm providing that setup because the people who come here and are serious and do the work for themselves deserve that. And are being recognized by the space for that. So there are people who are dedicated to themselves, to moving forward, and in moving forward to make changes for the whole, for existence, who are here to support the new in existence. And then there's people who show up because they're bored, don't have anything else to do. They're actually really desperate inside, is what it. But if you're desperate inside, if you're lost inside, you ain't going to be holding on to here. That's not going to get you anywhere. We've gotten to a place where people need to hold on to themselves and hold on for themselves, not to an external source, to this internal their higher self, their spirit, their soul, their essence, whatever you want to call it, to pure source. Yeah. So some people are lost in just what I said and acting like spoiled little kids because they've been used to somebody else doing the work for them. Problem is that doesn't work. That's never worked. That's the state of affairs now, is evidence of that. There we go. Yeah. So that's shifting out of the space. Some of that actually is there's people, there's humans in this, but there's also presences that non-physical entities. That does happen a lot. Yeah. Dissolving out, and of course, the two will come in together. You get people who don't take care of themselves, and you expect to be entertained and to be taken care of and to da 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 da. And there's also a lot of shit that starts hanging around them because they don't take care of themselves. You know, if you leave your trash all over the house, then pretty soon you're going to have an infestation. So there's some people who are like that energetically. Okay. So coming into, so let's take another nice deep breath in, pulling those frequencies up from the core of the earth up into your core of you, core, just with your in breath, pulling it all the way through to the top of your head, and then hold it there for a little bit, staying focused on that core channel in your being. And then on the exhale, feel like it's just expanding out 360 degrees from that core out, all the way out. Yeah, yeah, very nice. So you can keep doing that without necessarily holding your breath very long. Just pulling on the in-breath, you pull up those frequencies, pulling those frequencies in the core, and then on the exhale, just exhaling out. Yeah. I think we're going to have a quieter session today. And focusing, if you don't have to do this continually, just you can take a break and just come into the regular breathing and feel that whole movement of the rib cage just expanding and contracting, having your awareness there as well. Just going to focus in on, get people a little bit more deeply aligned with themselves. So you guys are doing pretty well. It's always the process of deepening that alignment. As you go higher, you're always refining that. As you go higher, that demands you to come into a deeper alignment, you know. Some of you, so it's shifting off, so that's really nice to see. But what's happening is that some people have a lot of energy that they're carrying on their back. Am I in the space? Yes, you are. You are one of the people in the space. You don't have to worry about that, Tony. Tanya, sorry. Your name kind of shows up as Tony because there's Tony A. Duvall. Tanya, so that's why I'm saying Tony. Yeah, you don't have anything to worry about that. You're in the space. Absolutely. You have that fear of not doing enough. You know, that's a little bit of self-worth. That's kind of a self-worth issue, religious paradigm issue of not thinking that you're worthy enough, that you're good enough, that you're doing enough to save your soul, right? Save yourself, to get into heaven, kind of thing. To clean yourself of all that's come into you, or that you've been through. So you have that still kind of looping around with yourself. So when you notice that coming up again for you, notice that that's a loop. And I know you know how to work with loops there. So notice that, catch that, and shift that for yourself. That'll be really good for you. Let's see. Okay, my house sitting business has not had any clients for over 2 months. Oh, like a ghost town. A lot of shifting for me. Yes, in terms of doing house sitting for free, what I do 90% of the time. Yeah, it just is not lighting me up anymore. I know this is tied into my money piece. Okay, yeah, we'll talk about money because that's a hard one to work through. So if it's not lighting me up, why am I still having to do it for free? How do I unblock it? So, you know, I just read everything you wrote. Look over what you wrote, because you're not clear in what you're stating. Like, I'm getting to the bottom. It's like, well, which part is not lighting you up? Not getting paid or doing the house sitting? It's very unclear. So that's one piece, is to get that clarity for yourself of where each one is taking you. So money is a really tricky one. I'm going through it too, you know. So everybody goes through it. It demands a high level of coherence for yourself. For you in particular, you know, some people, other areas of their lives is going to demand a high level of coherence for them. There's a lot of things that go into that. What you came in for. Some of us are here to like clean up the whole freaking thing, family line, all the way back to the beginning of time, our past lives, everything to the beginning of time, because we're here. It's like we came in, we said, I'm done with this. I'm not going to go through this again. So whatever it takes this time around, clear it out. So it forces you to just go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Money ties into so many things: self-worth, alignment with your highest essence, your purest essence, your higher self, soul, spirit, whatever you want to call it, higher self. To come more deeply in that alignment, and that what you do is in alignment with that. So for me in particular, okay, doing it for me, yeah. For the money, for me, is not a motivation. So there's people in the world, there are different people in the world. There are some people who are motivated by money, and it doesn't make them bad people, or, you know, putting money ahead of others kind of thing. I've got a friend who's an intuitive, who does psychic work and all that, and she just the way she generates money for herself, gets that flowing in for herself, is that she handles money. See it coming through, literally, the dollar bills, the bills, it works, that works for me. That doesn't work for me. So I've got to want to do it. It's got to come from within for me. I've had no income for a long time, just barely getting by. Yes, there's a lot of people who are in that place right now. I know this correlates to nuns, priests, etc., and families. So that's a piece of that. Yeah. So that's that religious programming is you've got to sacrifice yourself. So priests, nuns, and everything, you've got to sacrifice your physical well-being, your physical wealth, for the greater good. That's the religious paradigm. That's bullshit. That's the way that the religious paradigm has actually controlled people. People in power, anybody in power, it doesn't matter if they're part of the church or whoever, they're here to, they're going to use that to control, because you're all of a sudden going, I got to do everything, get clean, make myself clean so I can get into heaven. You're going to get into heaven no matter what. Let's just end that conversation right there. It's not quite, but it's not a question of are you good or bad that gets you. Are you aligned with yourself? So always look at that piece. First of all, really look at what motivates you in life. Does money motivate you? Like the example of my friend who is like, that's literally how she gets the flow going for herself, is to count money, to have that whole, get it through her hands. And for me, when I do my work, it's like I take the money, I just, so with PayPal, it's great because now it's like it goes right in. I don't take the money directly. But before, when I was taking money directly from client, I had a money jar. They would give me their check. I would just stick it. They would give me the money. I wouldn't count it. I would just stick it in there and not count it till the end of the month, so that there wasn't that correlation person to money. Money is a motivator, yes. Handling others' possessions and money is a huge thing in my chart. Okay, forget the astrology chart for a minute, because that might confirm it, but really be careful, because it feels like that's starting to be the astrology chart thing. It's like, well, it says that in there, and then you start to feel it for yourself. Watch that very carefully. It's not that it's incorrect, but there's a part about astrology charts that people... Okay, my take on astrology charts is that what you are here to do is to come to the center of that chart, so that you are mastering all of the energies in your chart. But most people, 99% of the people out there that I've come across to do astrology, is they're being run by the energies of their chart. So they're going around like this, round and round, all these influences in their charts. You want to come to the center to master that. You want to become the master of your chart. And so the master of your chart uses those planetary and zodiac influences. Planetary is more about the unfoldment of your path in life. Zodiac is more about your personality. So personality is an identity. You want to be beyond that, so that you can be that actor on stage and says, okay, I'm going to take this role now. I'm going to take that role now. I'm going to take that role now. So I'm not saying that money isn't, you're off on your analysis for yourself there. Step out of the astrology chart. Look over your life and look over, does it come from in here? And what is it about handling other people's possessions and money? What is it about that for you? How does it feel to you? Not what it says in your chart. Look at that piece just to get real clarity for yourself from within yourself. Then that external piece can confirm it or modify your understanding of that. Okay. All right, let's take a nice deep breath into that. And one of the things to do is on a regular basis, like, okay, where am I blocked around money? What's blocking me around money right now? And there's, I can feel it just as I state the question, I can feel it. There's this, it's like your spirit is going, you're not paying attention. You're not paying attention. And so it's holding that space until you smacks you in the face what you need to be paying attention to. So keep asking. It's like, okay, what do I need to be paying attention to? What is my block around, making money, about supporting myself? Okay. What is the money for? It's about it's about material ease in the world, being able to take care of yourself, being able, how do you evaluate yourself in terms of being independent? Like, where is that money supposed to be coming from? I've turned that one around for myself when I came to France, because it's the way it's coming in. Thank you very much for those insights. I'm writing down some stuff to meditate on, knowing I need to physically handle cash now. Yeah. So yeah, you might be one of those people. I mean, my friends, I found that kind of really because I'm the total opposite. So good. Yeah. Yeah. See how that feels for you. So, but also look at those other areas of self-worth, of how you judge yourself or evaluate yourself in terms of because of where that money is coming from, that it's not coming from your effort, that it's coming in maybe through another way, that, because, and I think you're, in the United States, European, and Western, that's what, when I say Western culture has, really imposed on us this belief that it's got to come from our own effort. So there's a lot of beliefs. So you just keep working at it. It's like every day might ask, it's like, okay, well, let's see, or maybe not every day. Sometimes that you just start to get into too much of an automatic, but it's like, okay, what's my block around money now? What's my block around worth, my self-worth? How do I judge my self-worth? There all these little questions. So you might want to go back and listen to that again and pick up, might pick up some other stuff too. So really important question, really good question. And money, relationship, success, those things really, now more than ever, are really pushing us to lie more deeply. If you want that to be coming from a pure place, to be something that's not going to take you down and destroy your life somewhere along the lines in the future. That's part of the catch, because a lot of people say, well, there's a lot of people out there making money. Yeah, there's a lot of fucked up people in their lives are totally fucked up and they're making billions of dollars. I worked for really rich people on yachts, and I walked away from that saying, if that's being rich, I'm not interested in that kind of wealth, because that's really fucked up. So, all right, deep breath in. How am I not in the flow? How am I keeping myself from being in that flow of receiving? some other questions there. There's a need to open up to something higher and deeper for yourself. So that brings up a lot of questioning around all the beliefs that you've had about what that actually means. What is contained in that category? Are you stepping up to your potential? Are you aiming to be your highest potential in wanting cash, or are you just subsiding because you're one of those people? You're going to get pushed to aim higher, kind of thing. All right, deep breath in. Let's settle into that connection to the earth. Yeah. So everything I said about money here applies to anything else in your life. If it's an issue of relationship, because I think there's a little bit of that's showing up in the space. And some people, it's a little bit not so much the money. They're in a find enough place for themselves with money, but it's relationship. So relationship. So money is a relationship, really. As what's your relationship to money? What's your relationship to yourself? So if it's in the category of relationship instead of money, like people to people with people, it's like, what's your relationship to yourself like? What have you not found inside yourself that you're looking for in that external person, that external financial piece? Yeah. So so I'm going to go more into the angle of relationship, but it still applies to money. So all of this applies, that we've been talking about, applies to everything. Now, if you're not satisfied with an external a relationship with an external person, so where are you not satisfied with that connection with yourself? What is needing attention, that connection to yourself, that's not showing up in that external relationship? Yeah. So take a nice deep breath in, hold it at the top, and then settle into your breath, into the chest. You're breathing, kind of the lower sternum area. So really bringing your awareness and letting your awareness drop down to that lower sternum, kind of above the xiphoid process. So you're still the sternum, that bone in the chest, but you're sitting above the xiphoid process. Yeah. Wow. Tanya, I feel like you hit that spot, and it brings up a lot of sadness. So come into that space and just be present with that. And maybe sadness is that's the way it's showing up to me, but loneliness or emptiness. So just come into that place. So everyone coming into that place. Karen and Elisa also are showing up. Wow. Yeah, a lot of emptiness. Comes down to emptiness. It might feel like loneliness or sadness, grief, but it's emptiness. Like below all that, it's just this being empty in here of that connection to yourself. And maybe you never learned it for yourself. Maybe it was never mirrored for you, when you were little. It wasn't supported. Yeah. So let's clean that up some for people. Some of you have people that are energies that aren't yours that are sitting in there too. So that's basically abuse. You're allowed that to come into you. So yeah, being abused by the external, but because you let that happen to you, then you're allowing yourself to be abused, which is a way of abusing yourself, kind of thing. So now you can come into that understanding for yourself and release that and say, no more. I'm not. This ends here. So opening that up, yeah. Yeah, and sometimes people, I'm seeing, how many people in the group? Let's see. About 3 people, not necessarily on the call right now. It's huge and very heavy. Yes, yes. So Tanya, I think this next one is also pertains to you, but let's see who else is on the call. Tanya and Sydney. Oh no, okay. Yeah, this isn't just people who are live, but it's like there's a whole line of people just waiting to come in. Coming right into here. So bring your hands up to your chest and just kind of hold yourself there. That'll be good for everybody. Just to say, it's a way of saying, I love you. You meaning yourself, talking to yourself. I love me. I love you, talking to that little part of you that for some reason got lost and had a swinging door that just allowed people to just come in and camp out because they could not hold it up for themselves. And Ilaria, okay. Coming into the heart space. Yeah, you kind of missed a lot of good stuff, Ilaria, because you're probably prepping dinner, I think, at this time, but when we start, but you did miss a lot of good stuff. So coming into the heart space. So now I hope you're seeing that connection, Tanya, because if that's heavy in this area, that's supposed to be like just expansive and bright and glowing and overflowing. I hope that's making sense to you as to if you've got that internally as to why external relationships don't feel satisfying. So Ilaria, if you, one of the things, if you know you're going to get on later, you don't do it every time, but if you know you're going to get long, as you start dinner, it's like, okay, I'm joining Marianne and coming into being now, etherically, and I'll join in physically later. So that hooks you up a little bit more into that. But I mean, there were other people showing up in the space. I was just not picking up specifics of who, but And you've got a lot of stuff still in the heart. It's also different, but it's also there. It's actually, you've got more on the back side of your heart space. Yeah. So Tanya, so everybody coming into this space, this is connecting into yourself, love for yourself, self-love, coming into that stuff. Let's take a nice deep breath into this. Yeah. Little by little, you don't have to jump in all at once. But little, and it's better to just go in little by little. Yeah, that makes sense. You'll already have emptiness in the solar plexus too. But the group is at the heart space today, so we're going with that. Yeah. So the heart coming into that, yeah, just feeling into that space. So that's getting a little brighter for people, opening that up. So focusing on that self-love. Yeah, and sacral area too, yes. The sacral area has more to do with being grounded in your physical body. That's the reason it's actually feels like it's small. If I was doing chakra work, probably the chakra is small in that area, and you're a lot more open up in the upper chakras, and you're just not into the first, second, and not really strongly into the third, because you're pulled up, you're pulled out of your physical body. So, and not much in the first chakra either. First chakra, yeah. But for today, right now, we're focusing on that heart chakra, and that's just kind of getting people to step back. These energies of all those other people were like, oh, okay, I can plug into her. Oh, she doesn't love herself. Let me just take that juice and plug it into myself, because that is good juice. So you want to take that good juju that you've got in here for yourself and turn it into yourself by filling it, really connecting in here. Yeah. Huh. So another layer coming off of people here. It's like opening up that cage, pushing back the walls of that cage. Ugh. Huh. Okay, we had a nice little shift there. So how do we keep the other energies out of ourselves? Okay, good question. Well, for one, you have to own yourself in that area. And what I mean by own yourself is it's like you've got to come into that area and be present in that area. So that's one part of it. Let me finish up this other piece here. It's like, okay. And Ilaria, there's just a way that you do not let yourself move up. Like, you're not moving up right now. You're, and it's my feel is that you've got a mind game going on with yourself. So there's a way that you analyze things and do the mental piece around it instead of just letting it go. So beliefs, ways of looking at things, and they might, even the beliefs with the quote unquote new age stuff. It's like, well, this is a higher level, da 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 da. It's like you're keeping yourself anchored down below. I haven't forgotten you, Tanya. And there's stuff you just won't let go of. So take a look at what you're not letting go of. You're holding on so dearly, like that's the only thing left on the planet. And doomsday is like the next 2 seconds away. It's like, let go of the shit, let go of the stuff. And even if it doesn't feel like shit, it's the letting go of holding on to it, like white knuckling it that's keeping you locked in place. And it's not about the thing, it's about how you're holding on to it. Pepe comes to mind. So it's not about what you're holding on to, it's how you're holding on to it. And that you're just going, it's gotta be this way. That's not an easy one. I'll give you that. It's not an easy one because we just feel like I'm letting go, letting go, and letting go some more, letting go some more. Okay, so coming back to Tanya's question. So coming in and being present with ourselves there. So as you come into that, so taking that time for yourself and just being present with yourself and feeling into that area and just noticing what comes forth out of that area as you bring your awareness into that. Just being present. And you've got some tools. I know you've got some tools like the timeline stuff to work with. So look at that to see, all right, is it a loop? Is it a, you know what I'm talking about? Or other tools, whatever tools you have. It's like, okay, this needs to shift. This doesn't feel good. This doesn't feel like me. This doesn't feel aligned. How do I move forward? How do I move out of this place into out of that so that I can really come into my purest essence, okay? Come into that place. So it comes up. Stuff comes out. I swear to God, I'm pulling up stuff that's like, really? That's coming up? I didn't realize that. So there's that piece. As you come into that, then as that clears out, it's going to become more aware of people plugging into you. And people plugging in to you, you might feel great, and all of a sudden you go, and you can't breathe. Or all of a sudden you wake up and it's like, you've got congestion here when you were fine before. Okay, a lot of people are going to run. It's like, oh God, I've got a flu, I've got this coming up. It's like, well, maybe, but what's causing that flu to come in, that congestion come in? Feel into that. It's like, what am I holding on to? What's in here that's not mine, that I need to let go of? Okay, and then you release it. Yes, that's Laurie. Yeah, right. So I know you get it. It's just that piece that you keep coming back to. So a little bit of a loop there, but it's also kind of just the way the mental is holding on wants so damn much to be right. Okay. So this gets into another piece for you, this imbalance of male and female within you. And so your male essence energy is dominating the feminine, and you keep complaining about the external dominance of men. It's internal to you. Okay. Yeah. Not so easy. It's yeah, definitely. And it's not a journey for the weak. If you guys are all, and kind of hats off to everyone here, because it is not for the weak. And you are pushing, and maybe you're getting stuck in some places. We all kind of, and if you find yourself getting stuck, it's like, okay, I got myself here. How do I get myself out? To just keep moving forward. That makes so much sense. Somehow I know I needed to hear that. Yeah. And that's probably why he decided to show up today, because it's like, there's something good for you. So congratulate yourself. It's like, okay, you're getting that direction. You're getting that support, that guidance from your higher self. So you could have gotten that sense, I'm not going to show up today. I wanted to go do something else, movie I want to watch, whatever. You showed up to that. So every one of you, and even if you're listening post facto, every one of you, you're showing up here for yourself. You're listening, you're taking in the information, and you're getting the wheels turning so that you apply to yourself, so that you can move higher, so that you can move into more, expand into more for yourself. And we are really getting pushed these days, really getting pushed to see, gotta hold a little bit more, gotta hold a little bit more. I tend not to listen to myself. Okay. So that's a little bit of, that's also ties into the balance of the masculine, feminine, or like if you doubt yourself, you get an insight, but it's like, you don't pay attention to yourself. So that's a piece where the masculine and feminine are just like at odds with each other. So you're not in harmony in that too. And I'm working on that too. Yeah. Work in progress. I'll tell you, work in progress. Look at what you've accomplished. So every one of you, look at what you've accomplished, where you've been able to get yourself to, where you were before. All of you, I've known some more than others. All of you have made progress from the time I've known you, from the time we first met, we first connected, we first got into this work, looking at this more deeply for you. Acknowledge that for yourself. And it's always about even more connecting with your pure source, your purest source, your higher self, your spirit, even more. Because that affirms that you are there and that you're growing into that even more. So it's not an either or thing. How can I connect to my highest self? That statement assumes that you're not connected, which is false. There's always that connection. It's a question of how aware you are of it, how open you are to it, how much you love yourself. How can I love myself even more? How can I step into my worth, my true worth, the worth of my highest essence? How can I step into that even more? There's a gap between, it's that gap. It's getting through that gap between the human and the higher self. Closing that gap, aligning more precisely to yourself. So nice deep breath in. Let's see where everybody is, the group is, yeah. Nice work. Let's take a nice deep breath in. Let's just drop into the core of the earth. Let's do another deep clearing for everybody. Yeah, Tanya, also self-worth in terms of listening to yourself. I have to dash off to buy a cat collar. All right. All right. Thank you for today. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. It's nice to have you on here. All right. Deep breath in from the core of the earth. Feel that expansion as you hold your breath. Just intend, feel that expansion of that pure essence of you expanding out. We're focusing on the heart space today, yeah. And filling yourself up. And as you exhale, it expands even more, yeah. And keep doing that, yeah. One more time. Let's take another nice deep breath in from the core of the earth, pulling it all the way up into your heart space, your chest, holding it there for a bit, and then feeling that expansion starting to happen already, and then exhaling 360 degrees all the way out. Okay, yeah, very nice. All right, as we wrap this up, hello, there we go. Putting up my QR code for, there we go. We'd like to make a donation. Also, if you want more help that's specific to you, reach out for a session. It's also available. You can just go to my website and check out. Also offering primordial sessions. It's not on the website, but if you're curious about that, want that, I think everybody who has done sessions here with me has had that, actually. But just a reminder, yeah. I'm finally getting good at that for myself. That's my little spiel for myself there. Yeah, always come back. The space is here for people to just, come together, hang out, take that time to go to that depth of our beings, and let's just go deeper, clear out more, align more deeply with ourselves, and be there. So, yeah, good. Thank you so much from Ilaria, from Tanya, yeah, from Sydney, from all of you. So, and those post facto, I know there's people watch afterwards, so thank you all for stopping by. And for some reason, I'm getting the plugs that I need to do today. So if you'd like do like on YouTube or on Instagram, if you're on Instagram, but YouTube. And every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central European Time, we're here. And we have the coming in the bean party here. So good session, everybody. Good work. Give yourself a pat on the back for the work that you do for yourself, and let's come back. Let's come back again and have a good time. So take care, everybody. Have a good rest of your week, and see you next time in the ethers or here coming in the being, wherever else we connect up. All right, take care, everybody.